Hello, good morning. This is Jenny Lee from jennysite.net. This is the second YouTube I have done, and there'll be a lot more coming. But September 1st, I am bringing my friend on, Callie, who is a psychic, but I call her the Psychic Dictionary. She's amazing. And so now that I'm doing some videos on certain subjects, there are friends from my past that want to step in and talk about their interpretation and what they see in spirit in the very raw disclosure information. So the thing is, today I want to talk about spiritual writing and spiritual drawing, because it's a subject that I work in, and I mean as in I use it a lot, I format it a lot, I rely on it for my information. And so when I first started doing it, I had a lot of doubt. I'm like, why is Spirit making me draw this stuff? I didn't connect it. And I had to realize that what I was doing wasn't about me. It was about relaying information, and not that you're supposed to understand it yourself. You're just supposed to pass the information on. No matter what the subject is, I may not understand it at the moment, but that client or that situation, however it occurs, you find out down the road how it was connected. So those are strong lessons that we have to go through when we do teach spiritual classes and information to people. A lot of what we teach, it's really not about us. It's about opening a door for someone else, and their guides and their gatekeeper are telling me what they need to go through. So I just open the doors. So when I first started doing the writing with Spirit, the first thing they said to me, Jenny, this language, don't try to keep it to an English format, because English is not the spiritual language. Because when I see in dreams and interpretation, sometimes it's even hard for me to format, writing going across. To me, it seems more normal to go up and down in symbols for spiritual language than it is English. So with that, because other languages, a symbol means, one big sentence of some information. On English, you have to, write it out, and then it's a lot longer. So my brain likes to get to the information quick. So a lot in my writing, I have dyslexia, and it's okay. But my information, my brain gets ahead of my hand. And so I could tell you it's very frustrating to want to go back and correct everything, because my mind wants to go at one speed. So yeah, I would see that symbols would be a lot easier for me. So I had to get used to that, and slowing down a little bit. And then my original writing, whether I work on a case or am looking for artifacts or any type of program that I'm working on, I never give my original writing out. Spirit says you're supposed to keep that for yourself. And then you transfer the information to the person in a completely new writing format for them. So it's just kind of personal to them to keep those files and information to yourself, because there might be information on there that you get that's between you and Spirit that you do not want to put in the report or just show them that information. So you kind of analyze the information before you give it to them. So that happens a lot. So then when it got to the portion of me drawing people, subjects, species, whatever it was, that took a lot, because they were telling me, you can draw this. And I was like, no, I can't. I'm not good at faces. I'm not good at doing this. And then they're like, hey, you're not going to draw it, Jen. We are. Watch. So, and how it works, I'm going to show you this because people don't talk about this. You know, teachers, they don't talk about this stuff. So the thing is, I'm going to give you an example. So for this guy, when I do the drawing, Spirit looks at the face first, okay? And they show me the mold of the face, and they'll show you the eyes, how they form. So you're listening to them line by line, like what line goes there. And it's actually a communication of you talking and communicating with them line by line of how it's interpreted. So it's you never know, and none of these look the same. And then some of them downright freak me out when I draw them. Like this one, was a recent case that came to close on it. And I don't try to change it because people don't understand it. Like this one. Yeah. Oof. This one was involved in a gal that got on a bus, and this is the guy she talked to. I wouldn't talk to him, but it was scary. So I never know what they look like until I start formatting what they wear and everything like that. So then also, I do maps, you know, future predictions of maps. They show me maps and areas and stuff like that. You have to get really comfortable. See, and they'll show me pods, alien pods, with what you're doing, or kind of being kind of sitting back and let them kind of drive and be okay with what they're showing you, because sometimes people are not comfortable with that because they at first don't understand everything that they're getting. Let me show you. So here's a gray that I did. So the gray. So the thing is I like these thicker, yellow, thicker ones, because they seem to, they're smoother and they have a bit of a grit to them. And so you can really elaborate on the drawing and shading or whatever. If it's too slick for me, I don't like it. It won't roll, the pen will not roll out, or the pencil will not roll out the way. So I have to have a certain texture. There's certain things I really get phobic about, and that's one of them. These papers had to be a thicker presence for me. So, so like I just did a case in North Dakota. It was 4 people involved in a case, and I got all 4 people that were involved in the case, and I drew them before the family even presented it to the cops. Well, they tracked down 2 of them in Texas and 2 of them in North Dakota, and now they're arrested. So I don't go by information that I get from the cops or the public or anything like that. I go by the raw information that Spirit gives me first. So if you're working on something and you're doing any type of writing or remote viewing, you just want a basic information, because you don't want that to alter the way you're looking at the information. Because if you get information from the left side of the brain and see all this imprint in your head, it is going to tarnish the raw spiritual information that they want you to see only. After you've done all the writing, all the drawings, all the information, then you can actually look at what it compares to. But you don't want to do it the first thing. You want to say, I just need a picture and I need the basic information, and then I go with that. And so I think it was last week I had 3 cases that come to a close, and they all match up to drawings that I did. And so I don't change my information because they'll go back and say, this doesn't match up. I go, well, I have to wait till Spirit shows me that this is going to change. So, and then sometimes it's uncomfortable for people to understand that I won't change it. but I'm like, my information comes from spirit, and I have to go by their guidelines and how they see it and how timing is everything. And I will not change that. So it's important that I stick to that format all the time. And so some of the stuff, and I even did a drawing, for stuff that was not on this planet. And, and just the interpretation and the information, I, presented that to who I needed to present it to. And then it just finds a way to match up to what they need. So sometimes we don't know exactly what all that writing and all that's going to do until the very end. And that's why I say documentation follows the verification. That's why it's always good when you're doing any spiritual writing or any drawing, date it, time, so you're going to reference back, because your brain, in the right brain, is not supposed to hold all that information. You need to place it somewhere that's good for you, because if you don't, to hold all that, it's kind of overwhelming and your brain can only handle so much. So as soon as I do a reading or sit down with a client, I'm in that thought for that information at that time. When I'm done, I'm off the phone, or I'm not talking to them no more, I let it go completely right away. Don't hold on to it, because a lot of the time it's not about you. It's about giving the information to the person that needs it and then moving on to the next situation. And that's the thing. For me, I've never been taught by a teacher whatsoever on this green earth. It was all downloaded at a very young age and then started putting me in the path of this information and then seeing it come to light. And then another lesson and another lesson. And it just got a lot consistently. And then I couldn't function at my normal job because I was seeing so much of it. And then Spirit's like, you might as well accept it. You don't got no choice. You're supposed to be doing this. And so then when I started doing it, everything kind of fell into play on things. So there's just these moments that you're like, I don't have a choice. And so you kind of throw yourself in the field and see how that sticks. So, so the writing, is very calm, of sitting down, not having a lot of front-loaded information. And you kind of get into a calm moment, and you're really letting your mind be kind of reserved in limbo and letting some natural spirit interpret information. And then you start to slowly write and draw this information in a very calm, collective manner. And then sometimes as you get in sync with that, all these pages of information, you're just like, wow, I've been doing this for 30 minutes. And it just keeps coming and keeps coming. But it's really funny, because what happens when they're done, it just drops. Like, boom, nothing. It unplugs. You're like, you're done? Yep, that's it. So then you just drop it at that point, and you go on from there and document that, file that, put that where it needs to be and when it's applied. And sometimes I'll see stuff that I'm seeing, I'll put it in a file, and I just wait for that one person or that family to contact me. And I say, I already saw it, here's the information. And I got one case that's really strong, of 2 boys dying, that the family hasn't contacted me yet, and I just wait for Spirit to present that when it happens. But this is the thing, like I said, with language, and when you're writing, if it tells you, start writing these symbols down, write it down. If it tells you to write it in a circle, write it in a circle. You have to look at it that way and feel comfortable enough writing it the way they show you, because it always links up to a situation, and then you look back and go, now I know why. But you don't know why until the lesson's done. But the biggest thing I think people nowadays are wanting to be led by someone else or anything like that. So I'm telling you, the most thing that you can listen to is your inner self right here in the gut. The gut instinct is the best. If it tells you this is a spiritual person you need to talk to, or this one, it always tells you. And if something's off, you feel sick. You're like, no, something's not right. And then if they're enlightened by a person, it's like this warm energy, and it's just like, yay, it's great, you know? But that does change too. You may start with one person and it'd be great, and you've outgrown that person, you move on to another. That's our spiritual journey. That's what we're supposed to do, is learn a lesson with one person, and then we outgrow that, and they go their way, and you go yours, and you keep going. The treadmill just going on and on and on. But there's been a lot of us have been doing this for a long time. And we knew what we were supposed to do when we were born. And we just followed that light, followed that path, and we just keep going. No matter what it is in front of us, we cannot be bought. We cannot be sold. Our soul is not for sale. We work for the light, and we stick to that. And no matter what they put you through, we know what's behind us that protects us and leads us to the truth. And so for me, people will see that I use a lot of biblical information and biblical books, and not everything in the Bible is right, but not everything is wrong. So you have to listen to spirit on that, what actually applies to you and your situation. But I do a lot of praying and sending things to the light to handle the situation. So when you're doing this, you know, getting yourself ready to do the writing, to write down the information, and sometimes you can be at the store and it comes on you, and that's why I have a little tablet with me, because you're like, that is the worst thing for me ever. I have 4 or 5 tablets with me everywhere I go, and if I get something and if I don't have it, I just go, oh no, this ain't good. So if you're starting that, I would definitely have that with you. Documentation is your friend, let me tell you, on this side of things. So what I can say today is I need people to calm down and listen to their instinct. And don't always get your information from all other sources. You need to listen to your gut and focus on that and know when to step away. And if you're seeing a recycle of same stuff over and over and you're not feeling enlightened by it, turn it off. So, and listen to your inner strength and inner voice. That's going to lead you to the truth. If you're starting to get confused, it's not going to be good for you. So, you know, and this is what I'm going to tell you. Right now, you're seeing animals everywhere that are so calm. Calm. Completely. I want you to think about that. And know that they're calm. And when something's really going on, they really act completely different. And I trust that. So you need to go outside. You need to take a break and enjoy life. Enjoy the summer and stop worrying so much and let things go. And listen to your instinct. So, and turn off the TV. That would help a lot. So I just kind of wanted to go over writings and automatic writing and drawings that I do for cases and artifacts and stuff like that. I do have openings for readings and remote viewing and all that stuff, and people don't understand why I have slots open. The normal reader reads about 4 hours a day. I don't do that. My brain is able to do a lot. So sometimes I have 9 to 10 appointments a day. This does not wear down in that way for reading. Humble healing, that's a different deal. But I can go for long hours, and that's just the way Spirit has made me to do that. So, and when I do have what I do have on the website is you'll go in and purchase it on the website under order now. You won't have a schedule up there. You'll see a number up there, and I want you to text me, and then I set up the appointment because I kind of want a conversation just a little bit before we decide what you need. So I'm not a very program type of person. I'm very personal with the people and want to get to the core of things, and I don't want to waste their time either. So, so anything with spiritual understanding, you know, finding that path, and remote viewing, artifacts, people looking for stuff they can't find, stuff in the ground that's been there for years. I do that stuff too. So it's just a door of information that I use, and if I don't get it, I tell you, and I'll lead you to someone else that will give you the information. So I just wanted to come on here and talk a little about the writing and drawing and insightful information, and don't be afraid to do it. You know, it's not something you need to stress out about. You just let the energy flow. Sorry, when I talk sometimes my mind gets ahead of my thoughts, and then comes out the wrong way, and then I get downloads. So I'm having their conversation, your conversation, and then mixing the information up. So sometimes it's like, So I will be doing more videos. My friend Collie will be on September 1st, and that is going to blow your mind how great she is. I am seeking these people that people have never seen before, that live in the woods and just do all their work for Spirit, and no one knows that they're there. And I like those people. And those are the people really have a dedication and understanding. So we'll be talking to her first day of September, the 1st of September. So, and then I'm trying to do this once a week, so I'm trying to make time for it. So if you have any questions, you can private message me, send a message. You can look at my website. All I want to say to you is enjoy your life, calm down. It's okay. Goodbye.